Have you ever actually listened to a light bulb?
This is definitely both a look and listen from CES 2017. It's the Sengled Pulse.
Welcome everybody to a Spike Studio product review. This time we're looking at Sengled or single LED, however you want to put it together. It's a combination LED controlled by an app that does extra stuff. So they have quite a few different variations. This is their Pulse model. We're going to actually bring it up here, we'll take a look and talk about the application. All right, so single LED, as you can see, it's standard fitting for any size light that you have, but quite a big base. So you're going to have to put this in some sort of fixture. Can light fixtures are the best. One of the restrictions was it doesn't accept dimmable can light fixtures. Most everything in the studio we have is dimmable, so we can adjust lights and do things. So we really couldn't put in one of those, but I said what better way to show it than was right here. There is an application that goes with it. So let's do this first. Let's show you what's inside the box. This is a two-part together. There's the master light and there's a satellite, and then we'll come right back.
So you've already seen it in play, but let's take a look inside the box really quick. It is basically, this is a dual set, so this has a master and satellite light inside. You can get it as a single solution as well. We're going to take a open inside the box. So as you can see, the master is totally labeled and identified, so it's easy to notice which one is which. You're always going to set this one up first. Underneath this is the instruction book and instruction guide. This is a standard everyday bulb. We're going to take it out of the box. So it's a standard light bulb fitting for any fixture, as you can tell. And then there is on the top, one thing is this plastic case doesn't easily come off, so if there's ever an issue with the speaker itself, the JBL speaker that's inside, or the LED bulb, you'd have a hard time. So let's get back to form and feature and function and the application.
So as you can see, we actually have the master bulb. It's on. It did its normal startup when we turned it on. It said doo-doo-doo. It lit up, and it was easy to pair via the Bluetooth. So the first thing you do is actually pair it via Bluetooth to your phone or tablet or whatever you want to do. From there, you jump over and you actually launch their application. Now, honestly, we've read online, a lot of people complain about the application and features and functions. So what we're doing now is actually finding the bulb, and we actually found it. So right away, it took a moment and it found it, but you can play around with things like the brightness. But one of the cool features is this is not just the light, but what's inside of this one. The Pulse has the ability, and it meshes with its satellites up to another 6 lights, but to actually provide sound out of JBL speakers on the inside. So it's a normal 6,000 lumen, 8 watts, but then the JBL speaker setting on the inside is where all the stuff comes in. So on the settings, we're going to play with that and get some tunes coming out of it. So the first thing we noticed once we connected to the bulb was it's really easy to understand the UI and the interface. It has 2 choices at the bottom, lights and sound. So for lights, it's just a spin dial to brighten and to dim the bulb, and it uses the Bluetooth, as you can see, to brighten and dim. Sorry for the camera probably getting flushed out real quick, but we're doing this all as we usually do, just going with it. Then there's the sounds. Volume control default goes to 80. The best part is from here, you're able to then play things from your device and stream it through the Bluetooth from here. Now, when you have this and a couple satellites together, you can create stereo or whole room sound effects. They say 1 to 3 meters at least minimum per speaker is the best distance to have between them, but keep in mind it's Bluetooth to the master. So you always want to be within about 30 feet-ish or clear line of sight. Somewhere in that 10-meter range is where you want to be for optimum sound. So let's go ahead and get some sounds coming out of this. So in humor, we jumped over and grabbed one of our videos only because we didn't want to break any copyrights or anyone else's infringements on there. It's time for CES 2017, and once again, Spike Studio will be giving me a ton of reviews. So there's the JBL speaker. So if I jump over, so I paused it really quick so you know. But if I jump over the app, I can actually go in. You can actually launch other media apps. You can launch Pandora if you had it installed, Spotify things. So there's ways to do it through the media apps. Some other things you should know about the application. You can control stereo sound. You can control the satellites that are hooked to it. You can control device management for the equalization. There's a whole bunch of features inside of that, inside of the settings. You can keep the last brightness. So it'll remember what you set it to last instead of coming on at the default percentage. There's some welcome screens, some other things, and of course updates for the app. Now, let's talk about overall usage so far and what we've done with it. We put this into fixtures outside. We put a satellite with it and paired it up as well. The sound is pretty good, but here's one of the things we noticed about it. Let's be really honest about how this should function the best. It is a pretty decent controlled white light that does good quality lighting. There is other ones that do better quality lighting in that regards. This isn't colorful or anything else. The basis of this and their units is the functions inside of it. One thing that we found with the best sound was can fixtures that fit around it, because it then gives a little bit more attenuation, a little more bass, a little more rich sound. Otherwise, you're just getting this straight speaker out of the top. But for areas where you really don't want to put Bluetooth speakers, you want to blend it into the environment, it's a great thing. You can put this inside of other lamps, even ones with lamp shades. It works fine. Just make sure it's big enough to hold this light. We couldn't put it in certain fixtures that hung from the ceiling due to taking bulbs in weird angles or shapes or things like that. But we were able to put it into standard lamps. If it gets too loud, you can get some vibration as well from there. Now, back to the application. A lot of people have complained about it just didn't reach right, or it kept dropping, or it lose the signal. We didn't experience that but one time where we had to go back in and it found it within a couple seconds, but we had one drop. The only time we really had drops is when we got out of a big range. I don't think we got a clear 30 feet out of this. Once we put it inside like a can light, I think it shielded it a little bit or something, but we weren't getting that full distance that we were from something like this when we were testing. So we want to say to them, thank you very much. Keep in mind they make a couple different variations of this that do other features and functions, but this is their Pulse version. This has the JBL speaker on the inside. I think it's a great addition and a great idea and a great way to expand some audio quickly throughout the home. Another product review from Spike Studio. Thanks for watching us again, and make sure you follow all our content for CES 2017.